All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to go ahead and take a look at what we have on our plate for this week. So this is the same stuff that unlocked last Wednesday, which is basically the start of Unit 5. This unit is going to cover kind of a little bit of review, or at least it should have been review, right? I mean, we saw geometry last year, Algebra 1 the year before that. So technically in Algebra 1, you should have started kind of digging just a little bit into radicals, just kind of how they work and things like that, and then exponent properties, again, that was 2 years ago. So hopefully when we kind of look at this material and almost approach it as kind of new material, as far as just explaining each thing in detail, hopefully it'll just kind of come flooding back to you. This week we're looking at 5.1, which is all about the nth roots. So you could take not only the square root, right? That's kind of super typical back in like Algebra 1. But nowadays, when we're in Algebra 2, you could take the cube root, the 8th root, right? It doesn't matter what root you take. That's why they call it the nth root. Just radicals in general, and then rational exponents. So basically exponents that are a fraction, like 1/2. So if you have something like x to the 1/2, that's the same thing as saying the square root of x. And in my video throughout the lesson, right, it doesn't matter how you look at the material, you'll see that over and over. They'll kind of explain that and how 1/2 represents the square root of x. But anyways, so the interactive textbooks here, the pages we're on, the link to it, all that kind of stuff. The practice problems, please make sure you're setting aside time this week to knock these out, right? I can't remember exactly how many there were. It wasn't a ton. I'm guessing 12-ish, but that's just kind of me thinking back a week or so ago when I made the video. So just remember, while you're doing this practice problem, have the solutions manual open, be kind of walking yourself through those problems, especially if you get stuck. Look at that solutions manual. Don't just kind of give up, right? This thing is going to help you out tremendously. Extra practice, mainly for the test, but that's there if you want to take a look at anything else. The vocab and concepts and the check-in are both here, and due Sunday by 11:59 p.m. And then if you'd like, you can watch the video tutorial, which is just me going through the lesson, highlighting things, and kind of going through some extra examples. If you don't really watch the video tutorials, it just depends on the unit that we're looking at. For example, I remember past units where we looked at example 1 in the textbook, but just jumping into example 1 might have been too big of a jump to look at. So then I'll just kind of throw up some paper and walk you through a different type of example, just to kind of baby step us into it. So if you're one of those students that are having a hard time kind of on these tests, you're having a hard time looking, completing these vocab and concepts in the check-in each week, and you're not accessing these video tutorials, that might be a good idea to start watching those and kind of treat them just like going to class and listen to a lesson. All right. So I got one late person. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions you got. Okay. I'm going to hang back and talk with people. If you want to spend the next 40 minutes, or please, if you take off, spend the next 40 minutes looking at 5.1 and going through the material and processing it, and emailing me if you have any questions. All right. We will see you all Wednesday. I hope you have a great day. Thanks, Noe. See ya. Thanks, Liam. You too.
Mr. Chapman?
Yeah, I'm here.
So for the test that was for yesterday,
Yeah.
So if we do the retest and it's like a worse score, do you keep the better one, or do you just take the retest?
Yeah, we talked about that last week when we were in class. I always say that when we have a test and a retest, you can take both, and I'm just going to waive the lowest. So both test scores will go into Skyward, but just the lowest of the two will be waived.
So you'll take the highest one?
Yeah, that's another way of saying it. Yep.
Okay. All right, I was just making sure.
Yeah, man. Just so you took the first test and it didn't go well?